Welcome to the History of the American Flag for Students. My name is Hilary Micalizzi, and I'm a volunteer at the Keeler Tavern Museum and History Center in Ridgefield, Connecticut. This presentation has been developed to teach you the basic historical facts about the American flag, with the goal of sparking your curiosity for one of our nation's most iconic symbols. As you listen to the narration, I hope you will take the time to pause in between slides to reflect on the information presented to you. On many of the pages, you will find questions to encourage you to explore the topic in further detail. It would be helpful to have a paper and pencil nearby to record your answers. There will be an answer key at the end to see how well you did. Over the past 244 years, the American flag has changed in many ways. Let's take a look back at some of those changes and the history behind them. In January 1776, the flag most commonly flown was the Grand Union Flag. It was a combination of the old British Union Jack flag, which you can see in the upper left-hand corner, and the 13 red and white stripes representing the 13 colonies. It was sometimes called the Continental Colors, the Continental Union Flag, the Cambridge Flag, the Congress Flag, the First Navy Ensign, the Somerville Flag, the Great Union Flag, or simply the Union Flag. It is considered to be the first national flag of the United States of America and was designed to represent our country as we began to fight for independence from England. Question number 1. Can you name the original 13 colonies? Later, in 1776, the Betsy Ross flag was adopted as the colonies moved further away from their connection to Great Britain. The person who created this flag continues to be a topic of debate. Relatives of Betsy Ross believe that in May 1776, Betsy was approached by General George Washington, George Ross, and Robert Morris, who brought her a design for the flag which included a six-pointed star. According to the story, Betsy showed them that the five-pointed star was much easier to sew. Betsy is said to have made the flag sometime in May or June of 1776. Question 2. In what city did Betsy Ross live? Another story of the origin of the flag suggests that Congressman Francis Hopkinson, signer of the Declaration of Independence, designed not only the flag, but the first continental paper and coined currency, and the Great Seal of the United States. There is no sketch or proof that the design is his, but there are many similarities between the flag and the Great Seal. The flag has a field of blue called the Union or Canton, with 13 stars representing a new constellation, as well as 13 red and white stripes representing the original colonies. Question 3. What colony did Francis Hopkinson represent in the Continental Congress? This is the Bennington Flag. Some say that it was designed in 1777 and was flown over the Revolutionary War Battle of Bennington, which took place in what is now known as the state of Vermont. The 76 you see on the canton marks the year the Declaration of Independence was signed. The original Bennington flag was examined by an expert at the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C., who said that it was most likely made in the early 1800s when flags were made of cotton. Some scholars believe the flag was created to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. However, most historians believe the flag was created during the War of 1812. the 76 was added to inspire the soldiers to remember the victories of the Revolutionary War. They also believed that the Bennington flag was too large to be used on the battlefield, and most likely it was flown on a flagpole or staff. Question 4. Do you notice anything different about the shape of the stars on the Bennington flag compared to the stars on the flag we use today? Question 4 on the slide you just saw asks you to look at the shape of the stars on the canton. Here are some examples of early American flags that have very different designs. During the early years of our country, each flag maker or upholsterer had the freedom to choose the star shape, the star layout, and even the pattern of stripes on the flag they made. The first attempt to regulate the design of the American flag was the Flag Act of 1777 during the Second Continental Congress. It took many attempts over many years to clearly define the design. Mary Young Pickersgill was the maker of the Star-Spangled Banner flag that flew over Fort McHenry during the Battle of Baltimore in the War of 1812. Mary learned her flag-making skills from her mother, Rebecca Young. In 1813, she was commissioned by Major George Armistead to make a flag for Baltimore's Fort McHenry. He insisted that the flag should be so large the British could see it from a great distance. The flag was installed in August 1813, and a year later, during the Battle of Baltimore, Francis Scott Key, who could see the flag from a British vessel, was inspired to write the words that became the United States national anthem. We call that song the Star-Spangled Banner. Question 5. How many stripes do you count on the Star-Spangled Banner flag? Question 6. Think about the number you just counted. What do you think that number represents? In 1818, it was clear that the addition of a new star and a new stripe for each state was impractical. Congress passed the Flag Act of 1818, which returned the flag design to 13 stripes and specified 20 stars for the 20 states. This flag became the official United States flag on April 13, 1818. The following states joined the Union to add 5 new stars: Tennessee, Ohio, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Indiana. Question 7. What do you think the red, white, and blue colors on the flag represent? Old Glory is a nickname for the flag of the United States. The original Old Glory was a flag owned by 19th century American sea captain William Driver, who flew the flag during his career at sea and later brought it to Nashville, Tennessee, where he lived. Driver cherished the flag and was dedicated to ensure its safety from the Confederates, who attempted to steal the flag on many occasions during the American Civil War. According to Captain Driver's daughters, he had the original Old Glory sewn into a quilt so it remained hidden in plain sight during the Civil War. The original Old Glory flag was given to President Taft in 1922 and has been preserved by experts ever since. Question 8. Do you know where the original Old Glory flag is preserved and displayed? In 1861, there were 34 states in the Union, and the flag was once again ready for a change. Even though the country was divided during the Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln would not remove any stars representing the southern states from the canton of the flag. On July 4, 1861, a star was officially added to the flag for the new state of Kansas. Abraham Lincoln was the only president to hold office under a 34-star flag. West Virginia was added as a state, and on June 20th, 1863, a 35th star was added to the flag. This 35-star flag saw some of the Union's most famous victories and was the official flag when Lee surrendered at the end of the Civil War. Some 36-star flags did appear toward the end of the war because Nevada was added as a state in 1865. But the 36th star was not officially added to the flag until after the war. On July 4, 1912, the U.S. flag grew to 48 stars with the addition of New Mexico and Arizona. An executive order of President Taft on June 24, 1912, established the dimensions of the flag with an array of stars in 6 horizontal rows of 8 each, and a single point of each star to be upward. This flag was official for 47 years, through 2 world wars and 8 sitting presidents. Today our flag has 50 stars, adding the most recent 2 states into the Union. Flag Day, June 14th, was established with a proclamation by President Woodrow Wilson on May 30, 1916. Its purpose is to celebrate the anniversary of the adoption of the American flag. The first observance of Flag Day was on June 14, 1877, 100 years after the flag resolution was adopted by the Continental Congress. In the late 19th century, school teachers all over the United States began having patriotic ceremonies dedicated to Flag Day as a way to teach children about our flag's history. A schoolteacher, Bernard J. Sigrand, is often referred to as the father of Flag Day. He lobbied Congress for many years for Flag Day to be officially observed. In 1949, an act of Congress declared June 14th as National Flag Day. Question 9. Can you name the 49th and 50th states to join the nation? Here are some basic rules to use when you display your American flag at home, or if you are at an event where the flag is present. Many men and women who currently serve our country in the Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, Air Force, and the National Guard stand ready to protect and defend our country when they are needed. It is out of respect for their sacrifice that we honor them by honoring the American flag. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. I encourage all of you future historians to use this information as a starting point to learn more about the American flag, the birth of the United States of America, and our nation's successes and challenges over the past 244 years. I also hope you'll be inspired to preserve our history for future generations. When you are ready, please move to the next slide for the answers to the questions you were asked today.